Hi, my name is Shawn and I'm a counselor at Lasell University Counseling Center. I'm here today to talk to you about mindfulness and why it's more important than ever to foster well-being in our uncertain times. Mindfulness has been shown to be effective at increasing feelings of happiness and increasing our daily productivity. What is mindfulness? Simply put, mindfulness is our ability to stay in the present moment, to be aware of how we are doing, how we are feeling, and what we are thinking from moment to moment. Let's use a metaphor to explain it further. If we're thinking of our mind as a flowing river, thoughts and emotions we experience throughout the day can be seen as pieces of debris flowing down the river. In a more active approach, we might actually take those pieces of debris out of the river, try to grab them, try to look at them, decide, is this thought helpful for me? Is this emotion or thought working for me or not? And then potentially put in place strategies to try to change our thoughts and emotions to try to stop them. However, the mindfulness approach is a little different. Using the same example, if we experience thoughts and emotions that aren't working for us or do not feel great, instead of trying to stop them or judge them, we simply notice that we are having them. We simply watch the debris float down the river. We observe the thoughts and emotions as they occur, and we continue on in the present moment. We accept that experiencing some counterproductive thoughts and emotions from time to time is part of our daily experience. And so, mindfulness can sound pretty simple, right? Just stay in the present. How hard can that be, right? Well, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's simple, but very challenging. Here's what I mean by that. It's extremely easy for our minds to start distracting ourselves and reflecting on the past or the future. Maybe we are thinking about an argument with our parent or a friend that happened earlier in the day. Thinking about what we said that was wrong, or how we felt when we watched the news and heard about how this pandemic is affecting our lives. Or our minds can wander into the future, what tomorrow or even 1 hour from now will look like. Thinking about the uncertainties of jobs, graduation, when we're going to see our loved ones again, whether our loved ones or ourselves will stay safe and healthy. Our minds tend to drift out of the present and into other places than we were actually doing in the moment. Research shows that almost half of the time, our minds wander to something different than what we were doing in the present. So again, the point is a simple premise, but it's actually very difficult for us to keep our minds in the present moment. So I want to talk to you about a couple of strategies that will help cultivate a more present and mindful approach, because it can be very an effective way to deal with emotion and thought regulation over the long term, especially now that we are in difficult and uncertain times. So the first step of cultivating a more mindful approach is to become more self-aware. Notice where your mind is somewhere different than what you're doing in the present moment. Notice at different points in your day when you engage in everyday tasks, such as when you're showering or brushing your teeth or when you're eating a meal. Is your mind present or wandering somewhere else? When you're doing an at-home workout, is your mind present in each exercise, or is it going somewhere else? Cooking, watching TV, reading, you name it, any activity, you can start to check in and notice if your mind is present or not. The second phase of developing a more mindful approach is using strategies to redirect your attention back to the present moment. I'm going to talk about a few different strategies. The first strategy is to notice thoughts that usually get you off track, write them down, or journal about them. This will help you build awareness of how your thoughts and how your emotions affect you. Get them down on paper and return to what you're doing, both physically and mentally, in the moment. The second approach that you can try is a body scan, where you deliberately check in with your body, any tension or discomfort, and notice it in your body going from head to toe, searching for the sensations in your body. Notice how you are breathing and where you are breathing. If you're breathing in your chest or your belly, if you're having shallow breaths or deep breaths. The last technique is a 3x3 grounding sensory technique, where you notice 3 things in your environment. You might notice your mind is wandering, and you specifically redirect your attention to the present moment by observing 3 things that you can touch or feel in that moment. So maybe you can feel the way the floor feels beneath your feet, the temperature outside in a cool breeze, a texture, feel a tension in a ball that you squeeze. These are just some examples. These are examples where you can feel in the moment things you can physically sense. The second thing that you want to do is identify 3 things that you can see. Look around your environment. Observe your present moment and just try to call onto your attention 3 specific things that you can see in that moment. The more detail you can pick up, the better. And lastly, name 3 things you could hear. Maybe the rain outside when you open a window, maybe the sound of people in the other room, or the sound of the air conditioning or heat kicking on in your home. You are purposefully trying to get your attention back to the present moment by grounding yourself to your environment. So there you have it. So you can use any one of these strategies. Remember, the first step is to notice when you are not in the present moment. And use one of the strategies that we discussed to redirect your mind back to the now. This is a skill. Remember, it's simple but difficult. So it might be challenging at first. And beware not to judge yourself if you are struggling with it. Be kind to yourself. It is very common for our minds to wander, as we discussed. Just start trying to implement some of these strategies daily. Research does suggest the more present we can be, the happier and more productive we are. Feel free to visit us on social media on our Instagram at Lasell Counseling for more counselor tips, and on our website listed below. The Counseling Center is also open for support virtually Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So please reach out on the number or email address provided if you're in need of support. Have a great week, and until next time, stay safe and be well.